Matt Fox, and this is Matt Fox on Tube coming at you live from Rostock, Germany. And it seems to be a little bit crooked. Okay, it's a little bit better. All right, guys. You know what? I've been talking for the past 3 months, probably, if not more, about the dangers of the individuals that you guys got in office right now. Because of my personal knowledge of this individual, I understand the way his brain kind of ticks, and sometimes the decisions of the people around him and how they direct him is very, very complicated for, the rule of law. And these guys have been using law for their own will and means for a long time, because they know that people that don't have means that are more than others, they're able to manipulate people and services, and in the end come out ahead. These are the same guys that don't go and pay taxes, but instead get money from the government. And they use all that. Now, there's a lot of people who think, oh, this guy's super smart. Right? He's using the government against itself. Okay. I might give you that. But in the end, he's sticking it to somebody. He's sticking it to the government, and then so he's sticking it to a lot of other people too. So that's the whole way Donald Trump's head thinks. And he uses these attorneys to insulate himself from responsibility for many, many things. And he likes to consider himself like a godfather in a type of way. Okay, so that's the way he thinks. Now let's start going to the things that's breaking news. Breaking news is Donald Trump is, I know you guys have already heard this maybe, but Donald Trump is going ahead and sending the military of America, the American military, into the streets of Portland, where there's nothing going on, no big things going on. They used some doctored footage and made some claims that there is some big problems going on in Portland when there really is not. And so it's going to happen. So, in the meantime, while this is all going down, MAGA Mike Johnson has a problem. Oh, okay, wait a second. I want to stop for a second. I wanted to inform you guys that I am Matt Fox, and I'm a Republican, I'm American, but I'm in Rostock, Germany, right? Okay. But I'm a typical conservative Republican. However, I do not back Donald Trump because I know who he is. And I cannot respect anybody who does not have, even half-ass values or morals. How MAGA can stand behind this guy who they know pretty much is a pedophile, or if nothing else, he is the guy that supplied to the pedophile. And that, my friend, is the breaking news. Now, check this out. I've been talking for a while about Jeffrey Epstein and the whole Donald Trump connection, but now I'm going to lay it out 100% for you, okay? Now start paying attention. You can double check all this shit online. I'm telling you. So, I did some modeling in '85. I was about 22 back then. We were up on the World Trade Center in the windows of the World Restaurant. Donald Trump and his group of people were over there. I asked about my manager who this was over there on the other side with all these people there. And he told me who he was. And he also told me about some of his activities and his reputation and stuff. And the thing is, I saw the behavior there, and it was kind of, it looked a little weird. Yeah. So in the end, I never thought anything more about it. So back in a few years later, I was living at the Breakers Hotel. I had a woman there that I was, shall I say, working for, right? And Donald Trump was there in Palm Beach at the time a lot also, as well was Jeffrey Epstein. I never hung out with them. They weren't in my group of people that I hung out with. However, what I will tell you is during these years and in years later, that Jeffrey Epstein, who had a place in Manhattan, it's very well known, was often seen with young girls coming from his place in Manhattan. Okay? So the thing is, Donald Trump also had a place in Manhattan. And there was times where they were in each other's offices or at each other's place and stuff. There were, I'm certain, more than one or two or three appointments because these are guys that they knew each other. They were best friends for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Best friends. That's what Jeffrey Epstein said. So at this time, Donald Trump had known him for a little while already. And later on, Donald Trump would go on to meet Melania and John Casablancas through Jeffrey Epstein. They met were by this guy Sampoli, you know what I'm saying? So I mean they were all in the same group, all mixed up, right? So and right about then Donald Trump got his own little beauty pageant. He brought the Miss Universe pageant and also the Miss Teen USA pageant, of which he also bragged about going into the dressing rooms and the girls were not even dressed and stuff. Talked about on Howard Stern. It's all out there to see. So check this out. Right about this time, there was a lot of flying around and a lot of parties, and there's been some flight records that have come out, and Prince Andrew's name is there in these flight records, and it talks about massage. He was in New York, and then he flew to Palm Beach, and then off to the island and stuff. Look at it. It's all in the records. So after that, I was already out of Palm Beach, but I always paid attention to the situation going on, right? So I saw that Jeffrey Epstein got this sweetheart deal, and that was his first conviction. Also really hard to understand, but that he paid off the witnesses, I can understand that. And I can tell you another thing, and that is because of the fact that Virginia Giuffre is already said that she was picked up from Mar-a-Lago by him, I would say that it will come out that the other girls, I don't know how many, came from Miss Teen USA, or possibly from, what was the name of Donald Trump's modeling agency? I can't remember the name. Or from there, or from one of the other ones. But let the information come out. So what does Mike Johnson do? This is it. This is it. Mike Johnson is crying to the president about he can't stop him. The one in Arizona is the last one. They need 218. They got it now. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he supposed to do? Well, just shut it down. Okay, well, I shut it down, but what are we gonna do when I come back? What are we gonna do? Because he knows that when he comes back and she gets signed in, she's the 218th member to sign that petition, and they got to come out with those records. So Donald Trump says, okay, I'm pulling this move in Portland. We're going to get us some martial law, and then you won't have to do anything except for put a stamp on my martial law. So everybody out there in America, I am telling you right freaking now, Donald Trump's trying to provoke this martial law. He has to provoke this martial law. Mike Johnson is out of control. The government is about to shut down. They don't have anything on the docket for their next session, because when the session comes in, they got to sign in the lady. Mike Johnson's trying to set it off for 3 weeks somehow. So, and every second that he's got, Donald Trump is going to be trying to use the media and trying to use the people who are out there. And there might be, pay attention, there might be some false flag operations done by the Trump people. Be careful. Everybody stay alert. And please, if you are a police member, if you're a member of the police, please, please, please protect the citizens, please. There are some people out there that might be doing some bad things, but I am going to say that they are not your normal people, all right? So as far as any military officers or any kind of military, U.S. military, every single one of you should deny having to be put on American streets with your weapons. I can see maybe as an unarmed force to help in regards to crowd control or whatever, but nothing in regards to with weapons. It's not necessary. These people, if anybody is protesting, they are only giving their opinion, and they are protesting. It is their right to protest, and nobody wants to be oppressed, and nobody wants to be trampled on. And military personnel have an oath, and that oath that Donald Trump took, he has been trampling on it since he came into office. And it's time for the people who serve in office and in political positions to stand up and say no. One way or another, Donald Trump is going to find that his idea of a future America is not the one that Americans want. Okay, Americans want to be free. They want to be able to speak their minds. And women do not want to have their bodies controlled because they live in Texas or whether they live in Florida or whatever. Okay, nobody's stopping them from getting their lips done or their boobs done. So why are you saying they can't get an abortion? I don't understand that. That's pretty fucking rich coming from the men who sit in powers and decide the great things that to be done in our nation, and that they want to control a woman's body. What are they going to say next? This is Matt Fox. This is Matt Fox on YouTube. This is breaking news. I tied it all in for you. Watch out for that Trump administration martial law. All right, I'm Matt Fox. This was Matt Fox on the Tube. This is the Capitulation of a Society, and I'm out.